I thought I'd invite everybody over while I'm just working on the first steps of this ring. Thought we'd probably talk or chat for a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the inside of these prongs. And that way, because sometimes the casting can fill some areas, but sometimes that's what I want, because that way the casting will come out stronger. And then when I'm actually going to be setting the center stone, which will be won't be soon, it'll be in a while, but it'll be after I prepare it. And that way it'll be easier when I heat these prongs up. I'm going to soften them so that I can just bend them outward and back to where I need them to go. And then I'm also going to be filling in some gaps as well. I'm using a really tiny saw blade. You know that saw blades can get like really small, like, let's see, this is like a half of a millimeter, I think. Really tiny. Saw blades can get super tiny. They're necessary for some of the more complex stone setting that jewelers have to do. But yeah, I've been trying to make more of an effort to enjoy the process of just everyday things, and especially with jewelry, since that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to be a professional jeweler in the first place. Because I enjoy the process just so much. I need to angle it a bit. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure this gets to where I need it. Be extra careful with this section. So I'm gonna cut all the way towards the bars. And I'm gonna be softening these prongs with the flame, because that makes the molecules in the metal start moving. And that actually is what makes them softer. Temporarily, but just enough to where I need it. Almost there, almost there. It's getting there. Okay, okay. So, now, let's see how well this is coming along. So this weekend I got to try some, this new, marmalade cheese. You pair it with like sweet things, also such as dark chocolate and tart flavored foods such as fruit and things like that. So I picked out some freeze-dried raspberries covered in dark chocolate. At first, like, this marmalade cheese like pretends to be cheddar cheese, or it wants to be, but it's not. And so I paired it with the, oops, darn. Yeah, they easily break sometimes, so we just have to replace it. I need to get a new one. Let's see, I need to pull out one of my small, tiny saw blades right here. And they bundle these little guys up with brass wire. All right, we got another one. Whoopsie. Oh, goodness. Dropped a tool over there. Yeah. I have to really be careful with some of these, because they can snap sometimes. But basically I have to make sure I have to get it as tight as I can. And that way it can have some tension. I'm going to need some, what was it, some beeswax or something. And I can keep it lubricated so that it can glide right through. Alright. But yeah, no, the cheese with freeze-dried raspberries and chocolate just, well, not cheese in general, the marmalade goes really well together. It was so smooth that it just like paired so nicely. I'll just cut this one too. Let's see. May not be using this prong to cut. I like to set most likely, but it'll be there as like an accent. Alright, well, let's cut these two apart. Whoops. Alright. Alright. Yeah, the weather's so nice outside. It's like in the 70s. I was outside walking my cat and I was looking at some of the bushes, and the leaves on the bushes on the, at least the ones where I live, were kind of like, leaves are really hard. They're shiny, but they really look like fake leaves, but I know they're not. I am not sure what they're called, or a specific kind. So I'll cut this a bit, because that'll be kind of hard to move when I needed to. Ah, here we go again. Yeah, sometimes with weird angles like this, the strain can get a bit much. Okay. All right. I think I almost got it, I think. Let's try this out. There we go. Oops. Just trying to concentrate here while I make sure the section I would like to cut is gonna go where I need it to. Yes, this was a very interesting piece. I had to do some different techniques when I was creating the 3D model portion of it. So it's kind of it's a new one for me. I had to figure out a new way of sculpting the actual sections of the whole ring, really. Except the parts that I wanted to be just structured and smooth. I almost got it. Almost there. Almost there. Yeah, this part can be kind of time-consuming. But then again, most techniques that I do are time-consuming. If there's one word for jewelers, it's tedious. But for the most part, I don't really mind tedious work. I quite enjoy it. And one of my favorite techniques is actually using my saw blade. It's got a nice like hem to it, or to me it does. Almost there. Alright, I think I Yeah, a little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah, when I was walking my cat yesterday, he kind of was stalking this little squirrel, and the squirrel was really freaked out, of course, but he couldn't figure out what my cat was going to do, but he was just looking at it, and he just wanted to watch him. And then the squirrel kind of figured out, like, well, I guess you're not a threat. I'll just hang out on my tree, I guess. So, sometimes some of them, like, my other place I spend time in, there was a squirrel that was really aggressive. Like, I was kind of worried he was going to try to attack my cat, but luckily he didn't. He just wanted to seem all tough, I guess. But I know they're just really, like, aggressive animals. Like, especially in Alaska, they're just extremely aggressive, those squirrels.